Yes, Michael is right. More CG stupidity. They will never learn.
No, but it has made 2024 fabulously fun.
Yeah. Risey says, "Oh my God, still with the elevator suicide music."
Yeah.
Well, you guys complained about the other music.
Rave shit.
So
yeah.
That's what you get. I hope you do see. No. Yeah, that's a joke. I love you, Risey. I also saw Risey say, "Dean, my back room casting couch has been lonely without you." Oh, but I've been there. I've been there, Risey. Watching.
That's so sweet.
Is this where the party is? Asked Sean Luke.
I guess.
I guess so. Might be Dean's always late like all my ex-lovers. You want to know who's never late? Risey. He comes right on time and right on top of me. Jack Stafford says, "Ahoy." Vicky, nobody cares what you said.
Thank you, Jay.
Some things never change, says Jean-Luc. Thomas says, "Do you think Ethan Van Sciver enjoys the entire world now laughing at him for being a filthy frogget?" I think it's what he's always wanted.
I think so too.
Yeah. IG Mars says, "Hello, Vicky and Dean. It's always a great time when we get new work from you two." Thank you.
Well, thank you.
The Comic Dude says, "Hello there, smiley face."
Hello, Comic Dude.
Why, hello to you too. We have a wonderful show for you guys tonight. The Comic Dude says TMI. No, it wasn't enough information. Give us the gossip and go heavy. Well, we have some stuff. We're gonna watch PPP and Andy Worski talk more about Ethan Van Sciver. So that should be fun. And then we also, what a lot of you guys are waiting for is the C2E2 banning of Shane, John, and Ethan Van Sciver.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, without further ado, there's our mascot. The bipolar bear, Mr. Captain Manning himself. Mr. Captain Manning himself.
Mr. Captain Manning.
Let's get into it, guys.
The funniest thing for me with EVS is that this guy actually worked at Detective Comics, the peak of the industry. Then he was making really good money on these comic books or whatever. But then he just completely failed.
I'm so glad you're
the
blocking
comic book
PvP
to the point where now he's forced to be a drama streamer on YouTube and insert himself into other people's business online, platforming Vito the pedo, Ralph the wife beater, Diddler Dax. This is his homie. These are his pals. Isn't it sad to fall that far, buddy?
Yeah.
You had options, you had skills, you had talent, and you ended up as a fucking drama streamer on YouTube? Holy pal.
Wait, well, here we go, guys. So you're all wondering, why can't EVS draw the comic book? Well, he's going to tell us why here. You ready, boys?
Here we go.
And me, John, I'm just doing stuff out of spite.
Buddy, whenever your motivation for something is pure spite, you're probably not the good guy in that situation, But it's this wholesome, Christian, conservative guy motivated entirely by spite to hurt someone else's business because they wouldn't bend over and let him drive. Talking about Yellow Flash here. Yellow Flash dared to reveal that EVS charges $4,000 to draw a comic book cover. And now apparently he's persona non grata. He's blacklisted. His business needs to be destroyed, even at the expense of EVS's own life.
I don't want to do Trash Cast on a Saturday night. I would rather go to a casino.
Or you could be spending time, I don't know, finishing the comic book you've had on hiatus
the guy
for 3
could
years.
Actually deliver the product for his customers, worth millions online.
What a novel idea.
Yeah. If only people have already said this.
Boy, I wonder who could have been saying that all along.
Yeah, late books or something. Late books or
Late
something.
books.
Whatever he fucking wants.
Sheesh.
But no, he's
No.
just a petty little beta bitch.
But I have to because Yellow Flash is streaming, and I have to take his audience away.
Yeah.
Like that's the entire reason the show exists and was invented in the first place, was so that I would take his audience away.
Wait, the show was invented.
So the show didn't exist out of any like organic passion.
I just want to point out, Worski's like retarded though. He like geeks out over Ethan saying the show was invented. Well, yeah, dude. Like,
Well, I mean, it had to come from somewhere.
had to be invented. Luckily, PPP was there to really narrow
Save
in.
it.
Yeah.
Any interest in anything, any desire to cover a certain topic or be involved. No, the entire reason the show exists is to spite another content creator because he's such a bumhurt Billy that the guy wouldn't like send him dick pics, basically. What do you mean you're not going to send me dick pics to join the war room? Well, looks
War
like I'm going to
campaign.
hurt your business. It's all the
I
same
I think something needs to be said though. Yellow Flash kind of was war campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He was all down with war campaign.
he was all down with war campaign.
So I don't know. I don't
So,
know.
Just so you know, Worski.
Jimmy, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
guys, it's the war campaign. I'm a badass. I was a nerdy little homo that got bullied in high school. I became a comic book artist. But let me tell you, now I have all the power. I'm in the
Wait.
war
Oh my
campaign.
gosh, he just described gas.
Show me your penis.
Is he a combination of all the people we A-log? Look, it's Ralph. And look what hat he's wearing.
It's the cog hat. Wait a minute.
Wait!
And he had a skill that he's not using. He had the potential to be great like Ricada and fell this far due to his own failures.
Oh! It's all our A-logs in one. Or everyone that we A-log in one. Wow.
He's forming a Voltron of fucking in lolcow.
Well, he had 36 to 4,000 people in his live streams, and now he's got less than 2, and I've got 2,500.
Yeah.
That
You should just use.
Is that true? Yellow
mean,
Flash,
even-
are you in chat?
e-
Is he in chat?
But
Let's see.
no, but even if it is true, who gives a shit?
Who gives a fuck?
Like, I don't
Yellow
understand. This is
Flash
like a
does.
middle-aged man
By the way,
trying to
They
flex
both
his
do.
internet porn.
What were you saying?
They both do. Yellow Flash cares that his audience is going down, and Ethan gives a shit that his audience is going up. Because that's all they care about.
Yeah. No, that's true. That is true. Finally, Dean is defending Comicsgate. oh, Yanafui. You're funny. What's A-log? What's the origin of that term? I don't know the origin, but an A-log is somebody who is sort of just obsessively like they're just it's a detractor that obsessively detracts. I think is probably
Probably the best way to put it.
the
Yeah.
easiest way to put it. Yellow Flash and Ricada got big from Kick Vic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time logging. Oh,
That's what it means.
all right. Well, I learned something new today. Amit is an A-log and I love him.
That's why Jack is the best mod ever.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But the rest of you mods, except Thomas Royloop, the rest of you, aside from Morg as well, but the rest of you, no, I'm joking. I read on Kiwi Farms there was an actual guy named A-Log who hated Chris Chan. These days, A-Log just means making fun of someone. Originally, A-Log means when you're obsessed about a locale, you become one yourself. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Points or cred over somebody else. Like, don't you have a comic book to draw, buddy? Like, don't you have obligations? Don't you have a family? Don't you have friends? I'm owning the other guy online. Wow, you're so cool, EVS. Now we come to, what's his name?
Doug
Say it for
TenNapel.
me. Doug TenNapel. Doug TenNapel.
Because their part, when I left cancel culture to go into comics, and there's this alleged right-wing conservative comic group, and I joined them, and they were all SJWs, and they were all pro-rainbow flag, and they...
Whoa. So EVS and the crew, they're all pro-homo,
Sucking it.
pro-tranny, they're Rainbow Coalition.
And BB said, Anthony Legato was a guy who got psychotic of Chris Chan. Was similar to Chris in a lot of ways. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Doug exposing the truth.
all were angry that I was a Christian Republican, and they were all pro-choicers and I'm a pro-lifer. So they tried to cancel my company. EVS, the head guy, went
Hear this.
and started tweeting to my companies where I created Earthworm Jim.
So, you have this guy. Yes, so Comicsgate was supposed to be a place for conservatives and people with you know, more extreme ideology, you know, quote unquote.
Whoa, no, the real true ideology.
The truth, but which is considered extreme to leftists and Marvel and fucking
You're
Disney,
right,
all that
Thomas.
fucking things. But these fucking guys were supposed to be the true voice. The true voice. We will not cancel you. Da da da.
I just want to say that all the people hating Doug in the chat, first of all, I 100% agree with you guys. I also hate Doug.
We're not fans of Doug either.
Not a fan of the guy, but I liked making it sound like I was about to defend him. But definitely not.
Well, did they
But
not
he
try to
is
cancel
right.
John?
This did happen.
But this did happen. That is
This
fair.
did happen. Ethan was tagging the company that owns Earthworm Jim that he had licensed the graphic novels from.
Yeah.
And
But it couldn't. But like part of the agreement was, basically there couldn't be like bad publicity,
yeah.
and so like
And when War Campaign started getting really out of control, Doug tried to slide out of Comicsgate. And if I remember correctly, he had a deal with Ethan where he was just going to do it quietly, right? And then Ethan freaked the fuck out because Doug didn't acknowledge him at, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con or at some Comic-Con panel. And Ethan just flipped the fuck out and started going in on Doug TenNapel.
Yeah. Which, to be fair, I really dislike Doug TenNapel, but technically this did happen, you know.
Right. It's why the ash can to Cecil's book is Dirtworm Doug.
Yeah.
Right.
Bella Rose.
Oh yeah, they just claimed right here that CG tried to cancel John Delarose.
No. Well, Ethan did try to cancel John Delarose.
Yeah, but more recently,
no. Back
were
in
buddies
the day,
and,
back in the day, he tried to cancel John Delarose. Mostly that had to do with Vox Day, and Vox Day coming in and claiming that he was that he was filing for the Comicsgate trademark. Ethan sent him a cease and desist that he had claimed to the trademark. Vox Day left. John was angry about Vox because Vox is, he and Vox Day are good friends. And so JDA was leaving Comicsgate when he got canceled from Comicsgate, if that makes any sense. Then he did his Robotoad book with Preston. Then John came back to Comicsgate because he wasn't making any fucking money. And then he and Ethan started hanging out again. And now John is anti-Comicsgate once again.
Yeah. Michael says JDA should be canceled, and I'm against cancel culture.
I thoroughly agree, Michael.
It's you know, I don't agree, but I'm definitely not going to stand up for the guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't defend him if
I wouldn't
somebody
defend him
did.
if
I'd
people did
stand back
cancel
and
him.
just go, okay.
And be like, oh man, that sucks for you.
Yeah, such a lying
Oh
asshole.
no.
And now, though, TenNapel's telling us they actually added his company, the one that owns, the umbrella company that owns Earthworm Jim, for him to lose the license, the character that he created because he's a Christian.
Scumbag move.
Fuck
man.
EBS. He's a piece of shit.
He really is.
What an asshole, bro. What an asshole.
So
Michael says JDA is a failure. Failed at his emo band, failed sci-fi author, failed comic creator, and most importantly, he says, and failed husband.
Oh, you forgot failed politician as well.
Oh yeah, failed politician. Yep.
I don't know what it is with the trust fund babies in Comicsgate why they've all run for political office somewhere along the way.
And then also tried to be Comicsgate.
Yeah.
tried to cancel my company. EVS, the head guy, went to companies where I created Earthworm Jim and tried to get me to lose that license by bringing up that I was anti-rainbow, anti-same-sex marriage. So that is what a SAW does. So that's why you're blocked. And frankly, that's why you'll remain blocked.
Ooh! Based? Because this
Get
guy
him,
said,
Doug.
I follow a lot of CG people, Comicsgate people, so that might have been it. I still don't fully understand you're leaving and all the feelings there, but I don't want to hijack. And he still blocked him. That's based. He's like, fuck you.
You'll remain blocked.
Yeah, fucked.
People, there's a lot of fake right-wingers, fake Christians, fake Republicans that'll take your money all day. And that's
So
Comicsgate.
true.
Actually, it's very true.
So
yeah.
true.
Right?
This is the only true right-wing Christian reactionary channel. We walk with the Lord every day. Hallelujah. You can trust us to never let you down.
Titties
We are
out for
ethical,
God, is that
moral
it?
role models, all the level.
What'd you say?
I said titties out for God.
Titties out for God. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Long day, just like Dougie here, bringing down righteous judgment upon the head of Rainbow Coalition grifter Ethan Van Sciver.
Yep.
Christians, fake Republicans that'll take your money all day. And that's Comicsgate. They're fake. And I have no room for frauds. I've been to the meat
Whoa!
grinder, okay? So when these little punks come up and start ripping on me, and by the way, these are same comic groups that started ripping on my other conservative art friends, tore apart their comic projects, their people. And it's not just that. It's also canceling them, getting their YouTube channels canceled. It's doxing
What?
them. It's going after their...
Yes, so I'm not even joking, bro. John Del Rose told me the whole backstory, like over Discord the other day. Like we were just.
This is gonna
talking,
be a
whatever.
lie.
He's like, if you're
Yeah. Well, I'm not
This
even
is gonna
sure.
be-
I included.
gonna go over
Oh, the docs.
yes, here's the backstory. So he's explaining it to me. He got people. There are people who were seriously like doing well, starting to like get their names out, lost their YouTube channel, or fully doxxed and had to leave the internet, or their families were doxxed because of
So he
war
just
campaign.
plays totally dirty. Just
That's
full,
not
just
quite
full on gay.
Like that's not really true. There's nobody in Comicsgate who lost their YouTube channels, like in Comicsgate. Thomas, outside of Comicsgate, lost his YouTube channel because of CG, but there was nobody in Comicsgate that did. And then let's see, there was something else they said too. JDA, interestingly enough, threatened to dox Clint Stoker. He is the reason one of the reasons Pan was doxed. So JDA actually probably did more doxing in Comicsgate than any other Comicsgate creator outside of Tug.
True. True.
Yeah.
And Risey had a good comment. He said, This is Risey saying this. JDA didn't fail at being the leading wife beater in comics, though. I don't disagree with it, but I didn't say it. But I highly find it hard to disagree with.
The comic dude asked why I was included on Wiggles. What is that, Grifters tournament?
Yeah.
And last I looked, I wasn't, so I'm actually quite excited that I finally made it onto the bracket.
Yeah, it's fucked up. I'm not on it.
You missed the bracket?
I don't think I'm on it. Granted, I haven't looked, but nobody's
You were
told me.
nominated to be in the.
I was nominated. Well, I better
I
fucking
don't know
make
if you
it.
made it onto the bracket.
I better
You
fucking
should
make
be the
it.
most hated man in Comicsgate.
I
think
am.
you are, actually, at least, or maybe the most feared.
I am the most hated.
Yeah.
People in Comicsgate didn't lose their YouTube channels. It was people like us, where Comicsgate supported us getting false flagged, including Raging Golden Eagle, whose artist is melting down about it. Yeah. That guy's a fucking sped. And a lolicon.
God.
But a major fucking sped.
Toxic man, baby.
Monetized on YouTube. How are you a grifter? Well, the term grifter is being loosely
Very
used.
loosely. Yeah.
It's really more, I feel like, disliked. I think that's really what the bracket is.
Yeah.
They discriminated against Dean. True. Shake up, you grifter. Autocorrect, save you this time. That's funny. I fucking hate phones. By the way, I'm going to have a debate with Raging Golden Eagles artist Toxic Man Baby soon, perhaps right after this stream. I'll make sure to tune in, and everybody else should too. Feel free to drop the link, Thomas.
Feel free.
Full on gay ops, bro.
Great. They're living of putting food in their kids' mouths.
Very true.
They got nothing for CG but contempt, and I laugh at them because they're nothing. They literally
They really are.
Well, they've lost like their entire stronghold.
In the grand scheme of things, EVS isn't fuck all. Like, Eric July, even in the grand scheme of things, is nothing compared to the titans of the industry, but he's magnitudes bigger than EVS will ever be. So all EVS can do is cope and cry and mold. Why wasn't it me? I was here first. I was the king of Comicsgate, and this black guy dare usurp me? And that's what it is. Because if Eric July was successful but below, then EVS would still support him and praise him, because EVS would get to be the big fish in the pond and feel like a big man. But the moment that anybody surpasses him or threatens him in any way, he goes after them. And the truth is, the reason he went after Doug, it might not even be the Christian stuff.
No,
it might not even be the political stuff.
As a cudgel for it. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a cudgel that he used. What really bothered him is that Doug's more talented than he is, that Doug's a better artist than he is, that Doug has more respect amongst people in the industry than he does, and therefore might have more influence than him in this internet fucking community about comic books. I had to suck dudes' dicks over Craigslist and got caught.
Had to include this one.
No, this is a legend. I used to think this story was just a rumor until I saw how Ethan reacted to it. Then I realized it was true. Please don't make fun of the reading voice in this. I'm very sensitive.
Shout out to Thomas.
Here we go.
I'm imagining it's some real Spurger.
I think I shared this story here once before. I'll start off by saying, yes, I'm a homosexual, gay, faggot, whatever you want to call me. So this was a few years
it all
back.
adds up. The guy was asking for dick pics to join his gay ops room. So I wouldn't be surprised if, he was involved with this homosexual gay F slur. Yeah.
During my college days, I was lonely and doing that Craigslist casual encounter thing. I ended up spotting one that seemed perfectly legit. Got in contact with the dude, and he said we should meet down the street from T&J Pizza. Small joint in Lodi, Jersey. I'll green text the following to keep it short. Guy's waiting by a dumpster. Hey man, you from the CC? Oh, hey, yeah, we gotta make this quick. He comes over to my car, sits in it.
Okay, this episode has gone really good.
Says he's in town for a few days. small talk.
Well, it is my birthday.
Only wants to give me a BJ, nothing done to
The
him.
gayest of the days.
Take my dick out, and as he's about to go down, it happens.
I can't believe you
In my back
included
seat,
this
I had
shit.
my comics I just picked up. He stops, gets nervous, and asks if I read comics. I say yeah, and then he says he has to go, and sorry. Confused as fuck, I go home and don't think about it. One day, I'm reading Wizard Rip, and I see Top Artists. Holy fuck, that's the guy who almost blew me.
Wait, so
No.
wait, so the
So,
guy.
yeah, I believe it. I believe it. It all adds up because the OP is always a homo anyway. So it all adds up here that EVS would be trying to suck the dick of this guy. I mean,
Oh no.
it's
Ethan
just the
Van
facts.
Sciver, who I only knew from X-Men, not a DC guy. Have a good laugh about it and bring it up now and again. TLDR, Ethan Van Sciver met me for a casual
Okay,
encounter
I
and
think we
almost
got
blew
that,
me
right?
Okay,
before getting
where's
spooked
where's
that I was
his
a cop.
reaction? Where's
I don't have
EVS's
the
reaction?
I don't have
is
the
it, no, is it in the rest of the clip? Skip ahead, see if
Oh yeah, here it is.
okay.
Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, it is.
Hold
here.
on, let's see,
Thank you.
because this
All
is
right.
apparently
And
what
almost
proves beyond a shadow of a
TLDR,
doubt
Ethan Van
that
Sciver
EVS sucks
blew me
cock
for-
behind
Iver
dumpsters
met me
on
for a
Craigslist.
casual encounter and almost
He's
blew
literally
me before
dumpster
getting
pumping.
spooked that I was a comics reader. The guy is
He
probably
is.
deep in the closet. A lot of married men are. No big deal to me. By the way, that pizza place I mentioned is terrible. No idea
What?
why anyone goes there.
Sorry he ran off. Everyone says he gives amazing DJs.
Yeah, I've seen that shit, and I'll say it again. I'm not a filthy faggot.
Wait a minute. Okay, so now I actually do. I was in bad faith when I was saying I believed it.
I can't
Yeah.
believe you added that.
Well, I had to. It's like one of the best parts. Thomas says, "Stupid Warski tried to cut off the best part. He's such an anchor on PPP's show." And he goes on to say, "Imagine being Andy Warski and almost cutting off the best part of the video." Yeah, see, and it is the best part.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not really. It's not. That's just a stupid. You know, it's so funny. No, never mind. But it's not. I never thought that was true.
Yeah, but it is funny.
It is funny to giggle about,
Yeah.
but I never thought it was true.
I mean, it could be. I don't know that it's not true, is how I'll put it. And I'm not willing to stick up for EVS after all the lies he said about me. I don't know that
Yeah,
it's
I'm
not
not
true,
really in
and
this-
that's all I can say about it.
I'm not really in the defending EVS kind of state of mind.
Yeah, I don't know that
Yeah.
it's not true. Nobody has proved to me that it's not true, at least. You know.
Yeah.
um,
How many hours of streaming we would have to do, Larry, to reach watch hours necessary for monetization?
probably just like four times a week.
Ugh, God.
Yeah,
that
but
sounds
that's
like
oh
horror.
Jesus Christ, that sounds terrible. Having to
Doesn't it sound awful?
reading everything you guys have to say in the chat 4 times a week, it's unbearable doing it once a week. I'm gonna be honest, guys.
I couldn't do this. I couldn't. I don't know how people do it. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, now we're moving on, guys. Except it's true Preston had clips of each other. He would put it the Twitter groups. What is that?
You missed something.
I must have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but Crypto found this TJ Pizza stuff. Yeah, no, everybody knows about it.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
they
it's-
don't
it's
because
been-
this
they're-
is news to them.
They're new to the CG.
Yeah. But so a while back we had predicted
Hold on just a quick second. Victor, no, I cannot see the thrill of sneaking out to get a BJ by another man at night. Dean might be able to.
I don't
but
sneak out. I fucking
He
I
just-
go out
he
full
just
bore.
goes.
I'm like everybody knows what I'm doing at midnight when I come out onto the streets. Everybody knows what I'm about to get up to. But no, so a while ago we had predicted something about this whole C2E2 booth thing about Shane Davis, Shannon Baby Cakes Davis, John Malin, and Ethan Van Sciver.
Oh, I gotta find one of that.
Yeah,
that
see,
boxing.
Rising knows. I've got his mouth at home. But let's just take a listen to our prediction not that long ago. And what are the chances that they're going to get the booth to begin with?
It's not that that's a whole.
Because
man, if you guys can't see this fucking
I'm calling
shit
it.
coming,
They're not getting a booth.
Man, they're not getting approval for a fucking booth. I don't care if Shane says he's already put money down.
Which he wouldn't have, but that's
well, it's possible. It is quite possible there are different rules for publisher booths than there are for everybody that they want to pay to go to Artist Alley. Like, because those guys, you don't get approved until sometime, I think in January, right? And that's when they want their money. It could be the same. I don't know. Those big booths, you'd think you'd want to secure them a little bit earlier than you would the Artist Alley. I don't know. Either way, having someone else pay for it just really kind of fucking sucks. Like, or at least pay you back for it.
Yeah, like those booths,
right?
Those big imported booths, like previously stated, those are for like people that people want to see and will pay to see. They're not for people that whore themselves out on YouTube and beg for money and that nobody is going to go see. Which is,
and just because Shane put money down doesn't mean that they've got the booth on lock. There could still very well be an approval process. And as soon as word gets out that Ethan Van Sciver and Comicsgate are going to be at this convention, do you think they're not going to be not at that fucking convention anymore?
And they know that. And that's what
and
the
they
is.
know it, and that's why they're fucking doing this shit. That's exactly why they're doing it.
Yep.
They know that they are setting themselves up to be the victims in Chicago.
And wouldn't you know it, guys? They are the victims in Chicago. Oh no. Let's watch.
No.
And what are the chances that they're gonna get the booth to begin with?
It's not that that's a whole.
Because
man, if you guys can't see this fucking
I'm calling
shit
it.
Coming,
they're not getting a booth.
Man, they're not getting approval for a fucking booth. They are setting themselves up to be the victims in Chicago.
Let's do it. Let's do the big announcement.
Big announcement, guys. Wow, you just tossed it back.
I can do it. I can do it. I don't know if you want to do it. I can do it.
I can do it. Or you can do it. It doesn't really matter. So, everybody knows we were lined up and going to C2E2. We did the CG triple threat and all that stuff. I got off. I had a phone call. For some reason, Reed wanted to get off record, and had a phone call with him. Some things were said.
What is Reed for those that don't know?
No, Reed is the company that run C2E2, New York Comic Con, Emerald City Comic Con, and maybe one other one.
Like the number 2, 3, maybe 4 top shows in the United States.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and to preface this, me and John, I really should have started with it. We basically went through every channel and every handler that we've gotten passed off to, and I went back and looked at emails, and we were kind of guided into filling out our paperwork the way we did, and we've basically done every single thing Reed's asked of us, and
dotted our I's, crossed our T's, said our prayers at night.
Yeah, may the Lord keep our soul to keep all that stuff, and all of a sudden there was like a sudden, we have to get on the phone. And I was like, okay, this isn't good. So took a phone call with them, and they first tried to say that I basically did things wrong and broke the terms of service, which I said, no, you guys gave me badges, and John and Ethan and other people are going to get badges because the booth comes with like 10 badges. The exhibitor's booth.
Right.
And
Ideally, it's Shane's booth, and we are his guests because they can only have one name on a booth. That's how it was explained to us, because initially it was Shane and I going in there, and it was going to be Secret Door and 9 Lives Comics on the booth, and they said, well, we can only have one. So I just said, Shane, put yours on there.
Yeah, it really didn't matter whose LLC it went to because we were both talking to them at the same time. It was just like, just use yours. So here we are now with a different person saying that I broke a rule, and I'm explaining to them, no, I didn't. They're just guests of the booth. And I'll be quite honest with everybody. Then the conversation switched to harassment. The accusations of
Lord Nemesis Spurg says Shane really does have a saggy face. Narwhal wasn't lying.
They have a no harassment clause, and they can't have people attending the con of harassment and stuff like that. And that I would be getting a refund for the booth, and a letter would be following shortly. So, and it basically said, and I sent a copy to John, and to be honest, I haven't really had a proper read through it. Like, I've read through it only once on the computer screen. Everything else has been on my phone, and the document kind of skips around when I try to zoom in. But it basically was kind of in point the same as the letter, except when it got down to the harassment stuff, it got very specific with 2 people in point. That would be you and John, meaning John, and Ethan.
Look, man, guys, the hypocrisy of how people on the left are able to say whatever they want freely on the internet, and that not be considered harassment or whatever, offensive language to people on the right. You can say and do whatever you want on the left all day long, and then they're going to let you go to all the conventions. You're going to get access to all the big shows. And if you are on the right and you have a counter opinion to what people say on the left, it doesn't matter. They're like the good old, I'm going to defend your right to say what you want, to the death. That attitude is gone from the left. Now it's we want all you to burn and die in a fucking gutter. Like, that's what they want from people.
Malin is such a dipshit.
So
yeah.
And any.
Yep.
Sorry, he's just a dipshit. Like, he has a really hard time articulating anything that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
But man, if only somebody had called this. If only people knew this was going to happen. And we did. Are we going to move on to the next video?
Well, we can, but what happens later, I might put this all together for a bigger video, is then you get Shane's narrative, right? So John's narrative starts off that it's all political. Shane's narrative becomes that somebody or somebody's contacted the con, and so they're being they're the victims of true cancel culture. Ethan is kind of disinterested, I think. I don't think he really wanted. He never really seemed like he wanted to go in the first place. It was more like these guys realized there was no way they were going to raise any money from their crowd fund for a book from, just the 2 of them. And so they needed Ethan to raise more money. So he sort of ended up stuck in this mess. But yeah, it's Ethan's was pretty much like, well, it's Comicsgate. They're gonna fuck with us because we're Comicsgate.
Yeah. Or because you guys are just Just awful to deal with.
Just horrible, awful people. This is all on John's stream on Malin's channel. If you guys want to go check it out.
Yeah, but why would you? Why would
But
you?
why would you? It's the only good part.
Is what we
I will
clipped.
say is at one point Cecil and Shane had a little bit of a headbutting where I guess Shane was on some podcast and did not mention the cancellation at C2E2, and Cecil had said it would have been a good opportunity to mention it. Shane just gets all pissy, flounces off the stream, and then comes back as he's walking through the house all pissed off because he just has to answer Cecil.
Yeah, what a woman.
God.
All right.
These people.
Now we're gonna watch Shane.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Before we do, so they did. No, go ahead. I'll explain it after.
Wow.
I know.
Thanks,
I'm
Vicky.
sorry.
That was
I'm sorry.
very, very.
It's your fault we started so late, and my brain's
very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Everybody, give Vicky a round of applause in the chat.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran with Yanti Lin. And guess what, guys? Cancel culture strikes again. Here we are today. And I guess in this situation, am on the wrong end of the cancel stick. Started off as an email that said, hey, guys, we have to get on the phone. We're like, hey, can we keep this in the email? And they're like, no, you have to call us. And we ended up with a phone call that was sort of spicy. We were being yelled at that we broke terms of service we were accused of subleasing the booth, which we bought the booth. And John Malin, we first approached them and we said, we're two LLCs. How do we build this? And we want this booth. And they're like, well, you need to get a 10 by 10 or you can get a 20 by 20. And you two put it together. And but for invoice reasons, we can only bill and list one LLC. We were accused of subleasing, which obviously wasn't the case. We both, me and John, approached Reed.
So they're basically saying that based on what we are saying in the exhibitor description, that we are showcasing both Ethan Ben Scarpa and John Malin, which they claim is a violation of agreement. But again, it's very weird. I believe.
Okay, Vicky basically subtitled Yanzi. She says it's impossible to understand what Yanzi's trying to say.
It is.
Exhibitor
I'm
booths
sorry.
usually have a lot of different guests coming in. Hey, guys, if you're an exhibitor booth, be careful. Apparently, you're not allowed guests anymore.
And in the case of this booth, even...
And Thomas brings up a good point. He says, Shane even admitting that this time he's on the wrong end of the cancel stick. He's used to being on the other... he's used to being the one doing it himself. Why did he just admit that? I mean, that's fair. He did literally say that.
John has drawn covers for Glorious Rex and Starlight Cat, so shouldn't he be allowed at the booth? Now, the second part, and this is the part that was really the issue, because I kind of said, well, if you wanted these people to be approved, then you should have said, I need a list of who's getting these badges. And right away, they kind of said, well, it's not just that, it's harassment. We have a no harassment clause at C2E2. And, there have been cases of harassment. And when I tried to say, well, who is the person that's been harassed? They would just speak over me on the phone and raise their voice. Later, we ended up getting all of this in writing in an email, which we don't really feel comfortable right now with people involved and representatives sharing this publicly, but soon it would be, probably. Is this the idea that you guys aren't allowed
probably
to
share the
Marvel and
email at
DC
some
anymore?
point.
You guys can't be on Kickstarter, get kicked off Kickstarter. You want to go to cons? How about we get you out of there too? The idea is to get us pretty much to a point where we can't produce books, right? I mean, the stuff we were going to that con with is all IP that we have built from the ground.
How would this stop you from making books?
It doesn't.
How would people not wanting you at a con because you're like some annoying faggot? how would that stop you from making books? Trust me, I wish it would stop you from making books. You stupid fucking comic book, you stupid fucking nerds. It's gay nerd shit.
If anything, John Delarose has taught us, it's that being kicked from a con does not leave you unable to put out a fucking comic book.
And
The only
despite
thing,
the fact that nobody wants John Delarose's comic books,
he still pumps them out.
he still makes them. So I don't understand if John Delarose, the alleged wife beater himself, can still make comic books despite literally nobody buying them. How could you, being banned from a convention, stop you from making your books that nobody fucking wants? Your gay nerd shit books. Because you're a gay nerd. It wouldn't stop you from continuing to be a gay nerd. You're still here being a gay nerd.
Round up through the magic of crowdfunding. With our backers, with our supporters, we made these intellectual properties come to be. These books come to be. The product we were going to sell was creator-owned projects. Now, you're going to say, well, Shane, you're so evil. You can't be involved in comics anymore. You know, they got to take your books right off the shelf. Just last week, McFarlane Toys is making a Kryptonite Doomsday action figure of me that will be in Walmart's, Target's, online retail, all of this stuff. Am I that bad of a person? Evidently, the comic industry can still trade and sell in Shane Davis wares, but I'm problematic. I may have hypothetically, in some weird way, with no evidence, harassed somebody, and I can't be allowed to go to a Comic-Con. Just can't. I was a few weeks ago, was no problem. A few days ago even, was no problem. Today I'm problematic. Why? Because this upset somebody to see us on the website. Somebody outside of Reed. But that doesn't absolve Reed from this. Actually, I think it's even worse on Reed, because Reed went with the complaint, whether it was valid or not, whether they did research or not. The squeaky wheel got the grease, and that was to get rid of us.
It's God. I don't know where to start with fucking Shane.
Well,
man.
I mean, let's start with this comment. Morg says, Yanzi claims that English is her first language. Does she really? God, that would be funny.
Well, maybe if she, didn't learn another one before she was 2 and then never speak English again.
Yeah. Shocker, they don't want a hate movement at their rainbow convention. Yeah. Butterface Lee is a lot. Oh, damn it.
Oh, damn it. Thing is, though, like, in both videos, Shane and John admit it, right? There were 2 of them.
Yeah.
It was only John and only Shane that were talking to Reed Pop.
Yeah.
Only them. And suddenly there's a third person attached to their booth. Right? Okay. I believe that they had an agreement for John and Shane to share a booth at C2E2. I do not believe that C2E2 even knew they were going to be subleasing to Ethan Van Sciver.
Yeah.
To sell his own shit at C2E2. And Shane does this thing, and I can't tell. I vacillate. It's either because, he's just playing the game, or it's because he's a complete and total fucking idiot. So during his video, which he had put up after the live stream with John Malin, where he admits that in the email they said the quote harassment problem was John and Ethan, not Shane, but John and Ethan. So at the end of his video, he goes off about he must be some sort of harasser because C2E2 said he was and they never did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. but he kept conflating badges. So you get a booth, you get a certain number of badges to give to people because it usually takes, it takes a number of people to run a booth, and you need people to be able to get in and out. And he keeps conflating badges and guests to his booth with Ethan, who would be another exhibitor at their booth. It's a completely different thing than just having, like, when Eric July was at the, the slabbing company, at their booth for a con. He didn't do anything but sit there.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't have other people selling their shit at your booth if they
your
weren't a
booth
part
at
of the equation when you
exactly.
yeah.
One, they have to be able to prove that you're able to sell it, that you have any right to. They can't just have you selling stuff you're not allowed to sell. And they need to know. So there's them, there's C2E2. They've been working with Shane and John. Then somebody higher up sees the website blurb that they wrote themselves that suddenly includes Ethan Van Sciver.
Yeah, let's take a look at that.
Right.
Booth 519, presenting comic creators Ethan Van Sciver, John Malin, and Shane Davis. Between the three of them, they have collective comic creating and publication experience of 70 years working at DC Comics, Marvel Entertainment, just to name a few. That's just two. That's not a few. That's literally one less than the required number you need for a few. Ethan Van Sciver has worked on Green Lantern Rebirth, Cyberfrog, Superman/Batman, Flash Rebirth, and many more titles. John Malin has worked on Cable, Graveyard Shift, Godlike, Thunderbolts, and many more titles. Shane Davis has worked on Superman, Earth 1, Inglorious Rex, Starlight Cats, Superman/Batman, Green Lantern, and something else. I can't read it. And more titles or something.
And more titles. Like, they couldn't come up with a way of saying that 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Which would have been really easy. But yeah, so here you are, you're the con. Suddenly you see this blurb, somebody somewhere, it catches their eye. And it's somebody who knows that that table is only owned by 2 people. But they've got 3 listed there. Not only does it look like they're subleasing, it looks like they're trying to backdoor Ethan into the con without approval.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's just... It looks bad. Take away all of the harassment, smoke, and mirrors, and all you're left with is they broke the frickin' contract. No amount of trying to say Mark Brooks must have contacted C2E2 and gotten us kicked out is gonna make it true when you already broke the fucking contract. Because you're idiots.
Yeah.
Because you're idiots.
And gay nerds that are hated by other gay nerds.
It's their complete and total stupidity and bumbling made our prediction come true in a way I did not expect. I fully expected that it would be that the con would just flat out say no to Ethan sometime in January, because I thought Ethan would have been in on the negotiation, or at least CC'd on this stuff, that they would have told the convention. We don't know if they told the convention, because Shane's not going to release any of the emails, if ever.
Yeah, because of legal reasons or something which don't exist.
Which don't exist. Just
redact
any phone numbers,
I mean,
addresses, or
technically,
emails.
like, legally, you're not required to. You should.
You're not even required to do that, but it would
should.
just be nice,
It
you
would
know?
just be nice, but yeah, they're not gonna show it in case of any legal. Like, you didn't sign an NDA. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, you stupid asshole?
It's an email.
Bumbling
It's
Gate.
like getting a letter.
Bumbling Gate. More got it right. Comicsgate is for comics. What Comicsgate is to comics, what Nick Rekieta is to the law. He could defend an innocent man all the way to death row.
Yeah. It's bad enough. So they do the crowdfund. It raises $54,000, right? I think the booth was supposed to be $50,000. There was some email. They were still gonna be going. I don't know. I guess they were in flux, trying to decide if they were gonna still have a meetup in Chicago or not. And Yanzi's talking about still accommodating the guests that they've invited. And I'm thinking, with what? The money you're getting back from the con that was from the Indiegogo? Just they knew the shit was gonna happen, but they still went full out with the Indiegogo. They have all these books. Now John says they're gonna take this money that they get back and they're gonna put it towards doing another convention. So they'll end up doing a smaller convention, probably cheaper space, table space, and then they can afford to fly all their friends into.
Yeah. So let's see. If only somebody had said this was gonna happen. Let's just And what are the chances that they're gonna get the booth to begin with?
It's not that that's a whole
Because
man, if you guys can't see this fucking
I'm calling
shit
it.
coming,
They're not getting a booth.
man, they're not getting approval for a fucking booth. I don't care if Shane says he's already put money down.
Which he wouldn't have, but that's
well, it's possible. It is quite possible there are different rules for publisher booths than there are for everybody that they want to pay to go to Artist Alley. Like, because those guys, you don't get approved until sometime, I think in January, right? And that's when they want their money. It could be the same. I don't know. Those big booths, you'd think you'd want to secure them a little bit earlier than you would the Artist Alley. I don't know. Either way, having someone else pay for it just really kind of fucking sucks. Like, or at least pay you back for it.
Yeah, like those booths,
right?
Those big imported booths, like previously stated, those are for like people that people want to see. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I do want to say we've been hearing for years about CG Con, right? For years they've been talking about doing CG Con. And here they are, kicked from a con. Right? And they have nowhere to go. And I don't know if because Shane hasn't released anything, if this is the lifetime ban from Reed Pop or if it's just this convention because they screwed the pooch on their application, you know, the way they did the application for it. I don't know. But I think it's kind of a great juxtaposition. Look at the Iconic guys. They sponsor 2 cons. Bell County Comic Con is growing to be one of the bigger and fastest growing cons in Texas, right? And they invest in that shit and make money off that shit.
Yeah, they're also smart and not stupid, and you know, for gay nerds, they're gay nerds I like. They are gay nerds I like.
Yeah, and Comicsgate has talked about doing their own con for 5 or 6 years now and crowdfunding it. Because none of those fuckers are willing to make an investment in their own work.
Yeah. Yep.
Not a single solitary one of them.
The only... you heard it here first, folks. The only gay nerds I like are Iconic Comics, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only cool gay nerds. Let's just read the chat before we go. they're going to be featured at some local ice skating rink like the one in New Jersey. It'll be awesome. Maybe if Ethan stops hitting at dudes at conventions. I thought CG was about being your own boss. Why don't John and FedEx Lee dump Frogman? Fools on thin ice. Oh, don't bring up Iconic. They trigger Ethan like no tomorrow.
Yes, that's why we bring them up.
Yeah.
No.
Everything will always trigger Ethan, of course. Ha ha ha. Good. Morg says, these guys should try and have a con at Ethan's warehouse. That's full of unmovable toys where it only happens once the pay pigs have bought out all his useless stock. I would have gone in 2019 dressed as a wrench because I'm cheesy, but all that fun, stupid, cringe good will is gone.
Oh, I would have gone dressed as Vermilion Masquerade.
I would have gone dressed up as the FedEx guy, and then I'd have pounded Shane's face. No, I'm joking. Vicky, who will rent a building to like CG, the con will never happen.
Yeah.
Jersey Dumpster Con?
Always a possibility.
Always a more than likely. CG Pizza Alley Con. I love cringy, silly shit, but now it's just gross. There is a reason the KK meet in the woods. Oh, no.
Jesus.
Oh, no. Shane is strictly UPS now. All right, guys. That's gonna be it for this one. Hope you all enjoyed it, and if you didn't, I don't actually care. I don't hope you enjoyed it, but you're still here. So
and don't let the FedEx guy knock you down.
Yeah, don't let the FedEx guy knock you down. No, it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed spending this time with you guys.
You're such a liar.
Finatra says I'm watching you, Dean. Your time is coming, Finn. Just wait next week. Your time is up. Your time is up, Finn. All right, that's gonna be it.
Good night,
guys.
everybody.